It is episode 7 of True Sports. First episode in like 3 or 4 weeks we've done this together. But the NHL free agency festivities have gone wild. Um,
Certainly.
yeah, it took a lot of time for Johnny Gaudreau to make a decision, and he signed with the Blue Jackets to join Eric Branson. But my Red Wings are on the attack. They got Andrew Kopp from the New York Rangers. Whoa.
Uh,
They picked up two defensemen, Oli Mata from the L.A. Kings, Ben Sherratt from the Florida Panthers. Um, they both don't have very good offensive production numbers, but at least Mata knows how to play physical and mental defense. My question is, can Sherratt do the same? Dominic Kubalik and David Perron also offensive weapons. Along with Andrew Kopp. They are in my A grade range. Sherrod, I'd give a C minus until I see at least a little bit of results. Olimata, I would I would give him an A minus in terms of defense.
yeah.
So, any free agent signings that stood out to you?
Well, there has been a few. I mean, there's been so many today, but the Rangers actually did get a move today, which I was happy. I was happy about. But I think the one big one was that Kemper, who won with the Avalanche, is going to the Capitals. I mean the Capitals. So you had a Stanley Cup champion who's already bolted out. Of course, it's really nothing new. I mean, we've seen it happen time and time before, but it's going to be. I think maybe the Avalanche will be a one year wonder after this, and the Rangers actually acquired Hurricane Center Vincent Trocek, so that was a plus for my side. So we lost somebody, we got somebody. So I guess it's an even deal for my Rangers. Thank goodness.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, the Rangers did pick up somebody. So yeah, um, man, a lot of yeah. The Philadelphia Flyers did really missed out on Johnny Gaudreau because they didn't have enough cap space to pick him up.
Yeah,
He was he was too. In other words, he was too expensive for him.
right.
So he went to the Blue Jackets. So for the most money, the highest bidder. So that's uh, that's so that's our thoughts on NHL free agency going wild. First day, it's only the beginning.
Doesn't surprise me at all because every time you get these free agent frenzies, something big is going to happen, and of course, in the days to come, there's going to be a lot more. So this doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah,
Nah.
my Red Wings, Steve Eisenman. Yeah, he is
Yeah.
still not messing around. They he got us a new coaching staff, a new backup goaltender, and Ville Husso from the Blues in exchange for Thomas Greiss, who went to the Blues. And then today he signs a whopping 5 free agents in one single day. Oh, wow, sirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Steve Eisenman. All right, he's trying to contend the for the first season after they got rid of Jeff Blashill, who went to the Tampa Bay Lightning to join John Cooper as an assistant coach.
Mm.
So yeah, Jeff Blashill's gonna try to learn the ropes after being fired as head coach. See, you don't as a person who wants to be a head coach, you don't want to jump the gun
Oh no.
when it comes to trying to be the head coach in the NHL. You got to learn the ropes as an assistant coach first, and
That's right.
that's what he should have done um, back in 2015 when the Wings hired him.
Yeah, some people like to rush things, but you can't do that.
Just much like Alan Trammell became the manager of the 2003 of the Tigers in 2003, lasted 3 years before he got his pink slip and was replaced by Jim Leland.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that kind of reminds me of something. But
I'm sure.
yeah, so all in all, Yzerman is trying to contend. Except the Red Wings don't necessarily have an old age guy as a head coach. Derek Lalonde, I think, can turn this team around one way or the other, whether they win a cup or not. So, with that being said, it's time for the True Sports Report. Lewis, take it away.
You got it. And it's nice to be back. All right, guys. Well, we got a good battle here. Top of the ninth, Reds and Yankees tie at 6. 2 out and 2 on. Runners at first and second. Holmes is pitching. And Votto is at bat. Well, Holmes pitching. I'm not too thrilled about that one. Top of the eighth, Cardinals lead the Dodgers 6-2 with runners on first and second and 1 out. Cabrera is pitching and Alberto is at bat. Also, top of the eighth, the surprising Orioles. Yes, I said the surprising Orioles are leading the Cubs 5-1. 2 outs, runner on third. Norris is pitching and Urlis is at bat. Top 9, Rangers over the A's 5-2. 2 outs, no one on. Leclerc is batting and Murphy is pitching and Murphy is at bat. Bottom 5, Padres and Rockies tie at 3. 2 out, runner on first. Musgrove is pitching, and McCann is at bat. Top 3, Angels lead the Astros 3-0 right now. Show me the money Ohtani is pitching, and Myers is at bat. And the Astros are hitless through 3 so far. Good. Game 1, the Mariners over the Nationals 6-4. Fixon got the win. Gray got the loss, and Seawald got the save. Moving on, by the way, it was a game 1 of a doubleheader, by the way, of course. The Mets over the Braves, 7-3. Bassett got the win, and Morton got the loss. Or, if you want to put it this way, moron. No, okay. Twins over Brewers, 4-1. Duran got the win. Hatter got the loss. Royals over the Tigers, 5-2. Singer got the win. Scubble got the loss, and Barlow got the save. Giants over the D-backs, 4-3. Duvall got the win. And Melicon got the loss. Game 2, Mariners over the Nationals, 2-1. Milo got the win. Freddie got the loss, and Stewald got the save. In 10 innings, Marlins over the Pirates 5-4. Pop got the win, and Bender got the loss. Nice going, Pop. Oh, boy. Blue Jays over the Phillies 8-2. Stripling got the win, and Wheeler got the loss. Okay. Rays over the Dead Sox 4-1. McClellan got the win. Witkowski got the loss, and Pucci got the save, or Pooch, as the case may be. And finally, the White Sox over the Guardians, or as I say, the Gargoyles, 4-1. Gallardo got the win, and Herring's got the loss, and Hendricks got the save. All right, so we'll go to the standings now. It's amazing, though, that I said surprising because the Orioles that you, of course, have become to known as perennial losers in more recent years have actually gotten better. They've won At last check, they won 8 in a row or 9 in a row. Still in last place, but still a remarkable improvement from last year, and are, I believe, closing in on a winning, an above 500 record right now. So still, it is very impressive for the Orioles, which have basically been almost doing nothing over the last decade or so. Then again, they haven't done anything right probably since they lost to the Yankees in the ALCS championship back in '96. Okay, all right. So here we go. Pending outcome of this game, now the Yankees are still in first place, 61-26. Have a 13.5 game lead over the Rays at 48-40. Red Sox are 47-42. 15 games back. Blue Jays are also 15 back at 47-42. And the Orioles are even, 44-44, 17.5 back, even though they're still in last place. But hey, not bad at all. To the Central, Twins are 49-41, have a 4.5 game lead over the Guardians, 43-44. White Sox 43-45, 5 back. Tigers 37-52, 11.5 back. Sorry. Royals 35-53, 13 back. I wish I had better news. To the West, Astros 57-29, have an 11.5 game lead over the Mariners, 47-42. Rangers 40-45, 16.5 back. The Angels, who need a halo, well, more than one, 38-50, 20 back. And the A's, still pathetic, 30-59, 28.5 back. What are you going to do about that team, man? All right. To the National League, the Mets, okay, well, they're holding on, 55-34, have a 2.5 game lead with the Braves at 53-37. This is going to be a battle between these two right down to the end of the season, I can tell you right now. Further back in the Phillies at 46-43, 9 back. Marlins, 42-45, 12 back. And the Nationals, 30-60, 25.5 back. Ugh, wow. And as a matter of fact, the A's and the Nationals now have the worst record in the league. Wow. Okay. Central, Brewers, 49-40, a game and a half over the Cardinals at 40-42. Further back down the line are the Pirates, 38-51, 11 back. They haven't done anything since 92. The Cubs, 34-53, 14 back. And the Reds, 33-54, 15 back. Okay. To the West, all right. The Dodgers are 56-30, have now a 7.5 game lead over the Padres, 50-39. So it looks like they're breaking away from the pack a bit. Giants fall back to 45-42, 11.5 back. The Rockies, 18 back at 39-49. And the D-backs, 39-50, 18.5 back. It looked a lot closer, though, for the National League West a few weeks ago. But now I think the Dodgers are getting their act together. And looks like they're going to, be able to pull this out. Because this is the time of year where the men separate from the boys, as most baseball fans probably know. So we have to, think about it that way. All right, so we'll go down to tomorrow's schedule, and it goes somewhat like this. And it just takes a minute to load up in here. I just can't believe that the Yankees beat the Reds last. The Yankees lost the Reds last night. They're up 3-0, and they blew the lead. The Reds scored 4 runs in the top of the ninth. Just sickening. All right, so we're going to tomorrow's schedule now, and it goes like this. Start off with the Pirates take on the Marlins at 12:10. At 3:10, the Padres take on the Rockies. All the rest are night games. 7:05 games are the Braves and the Nationals. The Reds take on the Yankees one more time. The Royals take on the Blue Jays at 7:07. 7-10 games are the Red Sox and the Rays, and the Tigers and the Guardians. What name? 7:15, the Dodgers take on the Cardinals, which is becoming very interesting lately. The White Sox take on the Twins at 7:40. The Mets take on the Cubs at 8:05, as well as the Mariners and the Rangers. 8:07, the Astros take on the Angels. 9:45, the Brewers take on the Giants. Okay, and takes care of that. Yes. So and it's the last series, of course, before the All-Star break. So you might want to get this in when you can. Okay. Do we have any MLS fans in the house? Because I do have some MLS scores here, and I happen to be a fan of the league myself. So for those of you with special interest, here we go. In MLS, Chicago over Toronto, 2-0. The DC United and the Columbus Crew played to a 2-2 draw this evening. Trying to get the score of the NYC game. Cincinnati and Vancouver Whitecaps also played to a 2-2 draw. Philadelphia Union over Miami, 2-1. Nashville over Seattle, 1-0. In the 80th minute, the Colorado Rapids and the Orlando City SC are tied at 1 apiece. Second here. Continuing on. I believe the Red Bulls are at a tie right now with. So we'll get to that, and we'll get to the other scores in a little bit. Right now, we'll turn on to the national headlines of the day. It was a big day, of course, for the NHL as the free agent period has begun. The Rangers acquire former Hurricane center Vincent Trocheck to a 7-year deal after his performance in the playoffs, sources told Emily Kaplan of ESPN. There was more to be expected from the Hurricanes in the postseason, as the Game 7 loss at home to the Rangers was a painful one and are not getting over anytime soon. Well, after a loss like that, yeah, I can understand that. But Trocheck, who anchored from his second line, was not to blame. He led the Hurricanes with 6 postseason goals and finished with 31 shots on goal in 14 games, averaging 18 minutes and 21 seconds time on ice. Acquired by the Hurricanes in 2020, just in time for the Hurricanes rising to the top of the East, the Pittsburgh native completed his resume with the Rod Brindamore system. Okay. He had 17 goals in 2020 and 21 last season, still well off his peak of 75 points in 2017. His credentials from Carolina that made him one of the more appealing players in the open market. The Hurricanes acquire all-star defenseman Brett Burns from the San Jose Sharks, sources confirmed at ESPN. He goes with forward Lane Peterson for center Stephen Lortens, goaltender prospect Etu Mechanim, and a 2023 conditional draft pick. Seems interesting. Another NHL deal was struck early this morning as Evander Kane signed a new 4-year deal to stay with the Oilers. Kane's deal averages yearly to a value of $3.1 million over the cap. Kane had 22 goals and 17 assists in 43 games last season, or this past season, the case may be. He spent most of the season playing as the wing of center Connor McDavid. The Oilers allowed Kane to speak with other teams before the free agency period began, with discussions were continuing with the left winger. We had tons of talks, but no cap space, said Oilers manager Ken Holland at the draft last week. Yeah, draft was already last week. Wow. Kane was expected to be one of the most prominent goal-scoring forwards in the unrestricted free agency, that according to multiple reports. Kane was looking for a long-term contract about worth $7 million annually. Instead, chose to re-sign with the Oilers. Kane signed with the Oilers in January after the Sharks terminated the remainder of his contract for breaking COVID protocols while playing in the AHL. Kane then challenged the Sharks' decision by filing for a grievance against the Players Association. No surprise there. Kane's new deal includes a signing bonus of $11.5 million and a no-movement clause through February 2025. After that, it's a 16-team no-trade list. That's a pretty big list. Moving on, Yngve Malkin signed a new 4-year deal with the Pens. With $24.4 million, averaging $6.1 million per season. Malkin is one of those rare players that has spent his entire career with one team, that is the Pittsburgh Penguins, and is now in his 16th season. Along with Chris Letang and Sidney Crosby, they have won 3 cups together, much to my dismay. Thank you very much. Malkin had 20 goals and 22 assists in the regular season and scored 6 goals in 7 playoff games. Among other awards, he won the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP in 2009, when they won that in a split second over Detroit in that series, yes, and the Hart Trophy in the 2011-2012 season. In his career, Malkin has 1,146 points in 981 games. I'm like, what the? Yeah, well. What can I tell you? Pelicans' second-round draft pick E.J. Liddell suffered from a torn ACL in his right knee in a summer league game back on Monday night. No telling on a return. Liddell was injured in the third quarter of Monday night's game against the Hawks as his knee buckled underneath him. In 2 summer league games, he has averaged 4.5 points and 4.0 rebounds. The Pelicans feared the worst when the injury occurred Monday night as he was carried off the field by his teammates. An MRI confirmed the injury. Liddell played 3 years at The Ohio State and was named 3rd All-Team American and was also being named Big Ten First Defensive Team. And I just said the. Sorry. Averaging 19.4 points per game, 7.9 rebounds, 2.6 blocks, 2.5 assists in 32 games of last season. After shutting down inquiries about All-Star guard Donovan Mitchell, rival teams are now showing a willingness to listen to a list of possible trade selections, sources told ESPN on Monday. The asking price appears to be steep, but in the wake of Utah's recent Rudy Gobert's blockbuster deal to the Wolves, the Jazz are no longer dismissing calls on Mitchell, that according to sources. Jazz manager Justin Zanuck said, "I'm not trying to be cryptic or anything else, but Donovan is on the roster and is a very important part of that roster. Things evolved in the NBA, so I can't say anything. So I can't say nothing is untouchable, but we are trying to build a championship. But there is no intent to trade Mitchell whatsoever. Time will tell, my friends." All right, so now we'll move on to the other headlines of the day. It's been one crazy day with the NHL with the free agency. All right, so moving on. All right, big story of the day here. 10 Royals players that include 4 top hitters and 2 of their starting pitchers will not play in this series against the Blue Jays after, you guessed it, refusing to take the vaccines. Oh, what else is new? The requirement for crossing the border will affect, listen to this list, people, affect outfielder Andrew Bernardini, utility man with Murfield, catcher MJ Valdez, first baseman outfielder Hunter Dozier, right-handers Brad Kelly and Brandy Singer, center fielder Michael A. Taylor, outfielder Kyle Isbell, reliever Dylan Coleman, and catcher Cam Gallagher. Wow. Players who are not vaccinated do not make the trip to Toronto and go on the restrictive list and forfeit service and salary for games missed. Gotta pay the piper. The Atlanta Braves have activated closer Kelly Jansen from the 15-day injured list before this afternoon's games against the Mets, which the Mets won. Jansen was placed on the injured list last month after having an irregular heartbeat, which is something you don't mess around with. The three-time All-Star underwent corrective surgery in November 2018. His second procedure after a recurrence of the irregular heartbeat prompted him to be admitted to a Denver hospital. Jansen underwent a cardiac procedure back in 2012. Jansen had a 3.58 ERA with 20 saves, third most in the National League in 32 games. To create a roster spot for Jansen, the Braves placed reliever Darren O'Day on the 15-day injury reserve list that was retroactive to yesterday with a strained left calf muscle. Ugh. All right, here's I find something a little bit strange here. The Blue Jays have fallen below expectations, well, to some people that is, in the American League East, and have fired manager Charlie Montanaro, according to multiple reports. Despite expectations, the Blue Jays entered today's game with a 46-42 record, though fourth in the AL East, but still that's decent at this point in the season. The Blue Jays, though, on the other side, that have lost 9 of their last 11 and are 15.5 games behind the Yankees. Montano had an even record of 236 and 236 during his stint as Blue Jays manager. I don't know. I don't think he deserved to get fired. I mean, it is having a decent record. Okay, they're in a little bit of a slump, but, I still think that, the cause for being fired, I think, was premature. He's still got a winning record and can still, make the playoffs. So I don't know if that was really the right thing to do. But draw your own conclusions, people. I say no, that they should have stuck it out. If it was like 6 games below 500 or something like that, yeah, then I say you're out of here. But not when you still have contention to make a wild card spot. Of course, anybody agree with me on that? Nah. Not surprised. All right, I think we just have a few more articles here for the day, and that'll do it. Okay. Designated hitters J.D. Martinez and Garrett Cooper, along pitcher Carlos Rodon, were all added to the All-Star rosters for the MLB All-Star game. The MLB made the announcement yesterday. Martinez replaces Jordan Alvarez and becomes the third Red Sox player on the roster, joining Alexander Bogaerts and Rafael Devers. The Red Sox have 3 players. Yuck. Cooper replaces Philly slugger Bryce Harper, who was out with an injured thumb. Cooper gives the Marlins 3 All-Stars, joining Sandy Alcantara and Jazz Chisholm Jr. Rodon was one of the most notable snubs when the lineups were announced, but ends up making the roster as he replaces Brewers closer Josh Hader, who has family responsibilities. Rodon, 8-5 with a ERA of 2.70, was selected to fill in for Hader, while Cooper and Martinez were next up in voting positions. This will be the 5th All-Star appearance for Martinez and the first for Cooper. The All-Star game is set for this Tuesday, the 19th, in Los Angeles. Le'Veon Bell says he is not returning to the NFL this season and instead will shift his career to the boxing ring. Well, good luck with that one, bub. The running back made the announcement at a news conference held by Social Gloves to promote the fight for July 30th, Mom's birthday, against Adrian Peterson. Now, I don't know about what you guys think, but I think two former football players or one current player and one former player going to the boxing ring is absolutely nuts. Boxing is something that people say you can't play boxing. Last season, I almost sat a whole season because I knew that's what I wanted to transition over to. This year, I know for sure I will not be playing in the NFL as I shift my attention to boxing. Well, let's just hope Lavelle won't get his bell rung, as the case may be. Oh, okay. The two-time Pro Bowler has said that this is not going to be one and done. It's more like an intro to what I'll be doing in the future. Peterson, who has also appeared at the news conference by way of video, says he sees that he can see boxing in his future, but appeared to keep his options open about continuing his NFL career. The former MVP and seven-time Pro Bowler is fifth on the all-time rushing list, 14,198 yards, and said there is a ring in his gym in Houston. Bell finishes eighth season in the NFL, last season with the Bucks, and Pearson finishes 15th went on injury reserve with the Seahawks, and both are free agents. I still don't think it's a smart move because you're going to get from getting beat up in one area and then get beat up and then get totally beat up in this one, because boxing, whether you believe it or not, is more violent than football, and those punches can really, really hurt. At least in football, you might get a chance to get back up quicker, but boxing, you could take a serious beating. And, remember, Pearson's not that young either. 15 seasons in the league. That could be a problem. Doing your first fight at, in your mid-30s or whatnot. So, I don't know. I know everybody wants to make a career move after they're done playing football, but for crying out loud, go try being an assistant coach or try to go into broadcasting or something. You want to get in the boxing ring?
He doesn't know what he's getting himself into.
That's what I've been trying to say. I mean, yeah, I get once you want to make a career move, but you got to be smart about it. So you got to go from getting beat up in one sport to getting beat up in another. I mean, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, that's not being very smart. Especially like I said, Peterson is about 37, 38. That's a little bit late to be making your debut as a boxer, to be honest with you. So I don't really see how that's going to be a smart move. I mean, he doesn't need the money, first of all. So why would you want to even do that? Some people just some things just are just completely stupid. But if you want to, make a fool of yourself and thinking that you're invincible, well, be my guest. But I, for one, don't think it's a smart investment for him or anybody at at the age of 38 or whatever to go in the boxing ring. Of course, the same can be said about George Foreman years ago when he was, in his mid-40s and made a comeback after 10 years. Not a lot of people gave him a lot of hope, of course. But he proved everybody wrong as he won those fights. But then again, not everybody's going to be a George Foreman. Oh, boy. Some things just don't make a lot of sense. All right. I think my notes are done for the day, so I'll just turn back over to you.
All right. So that was True Sports Episode 7. He's Lewis. I'm Taylor. Ta-ta. Hit him with a hind. Stay out of trouble.
Good night, folks.